Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's section of reads. You should be seeing this on the YouTube channel James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. Also, the dice and the cards I'm using, they're going to be listed below. Other than that, let's go ahead and move ahead. If you would like a reading from me, of course, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for tuning in, and let's go ahead and get into yours. Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. Let's go ahead and see what we got for Pisces. That's a very... Things are lining up. Okay. What's lining up? Things are lining up. Same thing. Okay. I don't know where we're going with that just yet, but things are lining up. A block might be lifted. Not a block that, like a block around you, like a block may be lifted. Things are lining up. A block may be lifted. Just because the block is lifted doesn't mean you're obligated to move forward with it. You can still regulate how fast that goes in. Just because somebody's willing to let you in at this point doesn't mean you're subject to what they want. Remember that. I don't see the door shutting. Once the door opens, it'll stay open, but you get to decide when you want to go in. It just may be a door that's been shut or closed up to now. Excuse me. Interest has been shown in this situation prior to now. From you or from the other side? I feel like it was from the other side. So this could be anything. Work, social situations, family, could be love. Is this the only... Well, there's another one coming in. So it could be romance, could be. I feel like you're going to know pretty quickly if it is. For a lot of you, I feel like this is like work. I'm seeing a lot of work references pop in. Doesn't have to be. Take it as it resonates for you. But interest has been shown in your direction. But then I feel like it was like blocked, or it was put on pause, or something held it back. I'm not thinking this felt very good for you when this happened, but I do feel like for some reason this is serving you. I'm not saying it's right what happened, whatever it was, but in the long run, it may actually end up serving you. Just keep that in the back of your head. Just we can see if that's true as we keep moving forward. Because interest was shown, and then the energy was pulled back, and I'm just like, to me, when I keep seeing this, it just kind of like, before you could really move ahead and find out what this was about, the offer was either taken off the table, or somebody just took their attention away from you, or something like that. And it's kind of like, you didn't even give me a chance to figure out what the hell's going on here. That offer is returning. But the thing is, it can be on your terms. Just because the door is opening again doesn't mean you have to walk through it. You're in control if you're going to walk through that. And I don't see it's going to be... It's not one of those things like, it's open for a second, then we shut it. Oh, you missed it. It doesn't seem like that. It seems like the door is reopening. But I feel like it's almost like somebody's opening the door and I'm continuing a conversation with somebody. They're on the inside, I'm on the outside. But as long as they keep that conversation going, possibilities are still there. It's just about keeping the conversation going. Because whatever it was, you were out in the cold for a while. There may be this misconception on the other side too. Be it work, personal, whatever it may be. There may be a misconception about them thinking you blocked them. This might be somebody who just doesn't understand how you work. Well, it's the Queen of something. Queen of Fire. But it comes in like this. And then it's the Emperor too, and that also comes in like this. Somebody or something might have been too demanding, too insistent. I don't know if this is a bad analogy, but I'm going to give it. You know when you have those people who, when they're dating, they expect everything to be what they want, and they're like, I'm worth it. I'm going to get everything I want. You should do this for me. You should do that for me. I'm worth it. What about the other person? It's a one hand washes the other situation. There should be a meeting in the center. This doesn't have to be romance, but whatever this is talking about, I don't know how to explain this. Sometimes you have people, and it reminds me of the dating situation, but it doesn't only happen there, where one person's like, I deserve everything I want, and they should be, be thankful that I even give them the time of day. What about them? Shouldn't you be treating them the same way you want to be treated? Shouldn't that balance? Shouldn't be balancing this? This energy coming at you might have had really high expectations for what they expected you to do to get whatever. Like if it was a work thing especially, they expected you to be falling all over the opportunity. And you might have pulled back and been like, well, let me think about it. And they didn't like that. It might have been something like that. Or you weren't really sure what was really there and you were taking your time trying to figure it out, and they didn't like that either, so they pulled back, whatever it was. It might have been like a little bit too, I don't know what other word can I use? I keep thinking bratty. I'm sorry, but that's the word I'm thinking. I don't know what other word to use. Like an undeveloped, needy energy. I don't know what to say. It needed a minute to calm down, whatever it was. Whatever this was around you, it needed a minute to calm down and reassess and reapproach. And they seem to, I feel like whoever this other side was, does not have to be romance, could be work. They seem to think that you kind of blocked them out, which I do not think is true. But that might be their perception. That's weird. But because I'm getting they're reapproaching and they're completely, it's it feels very free agent. There's nothing holding them back. Very self-assured, but then they're trying to create this moment again, or they're questioning if this moment can actually happen. I get a lot of work references. It can be romance, so I'm not trying to poo-poo that, but I keep getting a lot of work references. Kind of like one of the reasons they're coming back towards you is you are pretty much the best fit for this. And they're hoping that you're actually interested, and they're coming back around, seeing if you will come back towards it. Could be romance, it could be. And there's something about you that they're not finding with other people, so they're like, you know what? Maybe I'll give this Pisces person a chance again, see if they're actually not interested, or maybe I could get a chance to come closer to this again. With that King of Cups, this could be an emotional energy. Some people would argue that the King of Cups is supposed to have their emotions in balance. It's a general read. I don't know that this person does. Or people. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling that with this card right now. I'm more of an intuitive reader. Generally, yes, it would be more balanced, but I'm not. And I also tend to read them right side up because it's easier for people to follow. Maybe that's another reason. I'm kind of getting the energy's a little unbalanced because I feel like the card should actually be more like this on the table. Kind of it's not the worst energy, but it needs to kind of pull it together a little bit. It needs to kind of pull it together a little bit here. This could be ushering in a whole new phase of your life. Excuse me. Could be. You don't have to anything. It probably would be helpful for you to be more confident and secure in what you want from the situation and to not settle for less. Especially when the energy I'm feeling, I don't see you having unrealistic expectations. Kind of if you're going into a job, if it is a job situation, some type of work thing, there's a certain amount of money you're expecting. There's a certain amount of benefits, scheduling, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You need some flexibility in certain areas. There's certain things you need. I don't feel like there's anything here that's unrealistic. You know what I mean? You're not every time I get out of my car to come into work, there should be a red carpet waiting for me and somebody handing me my coffee already made the way I want it. Like, no, you're not having any type of expectations like that. Like, people should bow when I come into the room. No, you're not doing that. I'm just saying, you don't have anything unrealistic here. I don't know why I'm being so sarcastic with it. You definitely have like I don't know if it's a list or it's just like some things are more important than others. The most important things, just remember, don't negotiate on your most important things. So there may be like a list of 5 to 7 things, for example, like this is most important, this is least important. Your top 3 or 4, don't negotiate on those. If you have to negotiate the bottom couple, you know what I mean? If you need to, if you have to. I mean, I suppose people don't have to bow when you come into the room. So annoying, but whatever. But whatever you got to do. Yeah, I feel realistic here. And when this card is in balance, the Empress is in balance, which don't get caught up in the gender, you look out for others, but you look out for yourself as well. You're included in the meal. Like, if you're making the meal, for example, you're making an awesome meal, you're getting people to help you not only set up, help make it where you can, and help clean up afterwards, and you're also getting your fair share of the meal. You're putting in all this effort to make sure it happens, but you're making sure you're getting your plate of food too, just as much as everybody else, and they're going to help get it together and clean it up afterwards. Just because you're the director of the ship doesn't mean you have to go down with it. I don't know why. I don't know if that made sense the way I said it, but you know what I mean? This doesn't have to be you doing all the work. But it's kind of like when this card's in balance, I make beautiful things happen. Beautiful things come together, but you're also making sure you take care of yourself as well as the people around you. It's kind of like, listen, we got a lot of good things here, and it's not hurting anybody for y'all to help. And, you know, this shouldn't all be on me. I don't know if this is something I should say, but it's popping into my head. It reminds me of the traditional mother role, like minus 50 years, where I feel like, at least the examples I saw, she would set up the whole table, put all the food out there, and then clean it all up afterwards. And I just remember thinking, even as a kid, I just felt like that wasn't fair. Sometimes the kids would help. They would have chores. Excuse me. But I just remember that, yeah, the hiccups are there. So I don't know if I'm going too far with it, but like, this shouldn't be all just you doing it. Balance it out. Include yourself. Get what you want. Include yourself in with everybody else. That's where your success is. Am I not saying it right? Is there something like that? I'm just not saying it right. Like, when you're going forward with the situation, you don't have to jump right into it. Just remember that. Also, if there's a negotiation period, if there is, be it work or personal, whatever it may be, include yourself in the whole thing if you want this to happen. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to expect people to, you know, make dinner for you and set it up and clean it up and just you show up for the good stuff. Include yourself in the process, and then this whole situation gels and locks in the way you want it to. I feel like most of you are going to do that. I'm more worried about some of you doing everything, and you don't. That's not a good idea. doing it all yourself, not a good idea. Sooner or later, it will wipe you out. Most of you, I think, will knee-jerk reaction go to that one. That's not going to work. Granted, the opposite isn't good either, where you just kind of show up for the good stuff. There might be a few of you who kind of do that. But no harm, no foul. If that's something that fits you, just realize that's also going to sink the ship at some point too. You want to be included, you want to enjoy it, you want to be participant, and you want to but you want it to be evened out between everybody so it can flourish that way. It'll continue. Because I do think there could be a negotiation part. You got this Justice card coming in. When this block is lifted and things come back towards you, there's this point where, like, what is this actually supposed to be? What can this be? What potential is really here? What do I like? What do I not like? The parts that I don't like, are those negotiable? And if so, what do I trade out to get those? This is very simple but very technical. Be careful to not just go forward with best foot forward. Be careful of this. You have certain attributes. I'm a Pisces too. And sometimes people just talk to us nice, or they talk to us the right way. I'm saying this as a Pisces. If you're not the type of Pisces that goes for that, good for you. Awesome. I can be at times where if I already like somebody and they're just saying the right things, sometimes I get too agreeable, is what I think. At this point in life, I think it kind of more throws up a red flag, but whatever. Be careful not to be too accommodating. That can be a Pisces downward turn. Be careful of that. We can be very accommodating people, especially if we think it's worth it. They're saying this might not serve you. Even if you think you might, even if you think could work for you and you're kind of like tending that way, take your time, keep the conversation going, and keep the negotiations going. Let this situation work for you. Let this evolve. Let this let this thicken up. Like if you're making a gravy or something, give it a minute here to thicken up. Give it a second here to thicken up to be what you actually want it to be. I don't know if I'm helpful with that one. Am I helpful the way I'm saying that? Because I don't know if I'm really... Because it can be kind of difficult. They're like, figure out the parts that don't work for you. You don't have to do anything here. Look between the lines. Do you suspect they're trying to sneak anything by you? I'm getting the Seven of Swords reversed, which I don't think there is anything that's going to get snuck by you. But if that's true, you looking, you triple checking. I'm just one of those people, like, if you're not lying, why are you worried if somebody's checking up on you? You know, I'm also one of those people, if you're not cheating and your partner just shows up randomly wherever you are, once in a great while, why is that a problem? I don't know. Maybe I'm that one. So checking on this situation and pulling back a little bit, finding out what's really the foundation of this situation. Is that the right way to do that? Because you have possibilities here. This situation, the block is being lifted, but it's very interested in you. Know that you're there. Know your worth. Like we had the get your power back thing. Know your worth. This situation wants you. You're not just like, I guess you'll do. You're not that. Be it work, personal, whatever. Wherever this is coming from, they're not looking at you like, oh, Pisces will do. That's not how this is coming in. They know that they're interested. They know that you're a good fit. You need to know it too and balance it out accordingly. What does this say? They might come around to your way of thinking. What are you thinking? The block is being lifted. That's this. And it's through effort, through them making this effort. And they might be realizing that this going a little bit slower actually serves both you and them, work, personal, whatever it may be. They might be realizing that at the rate it's going, it has a more likely chance of having longevity. And being whatever the situation is, work, personal, whatever, they don't like the idea of looking for somebody else later. One of the reasons they're very interested is because they believe if you connect into this, if you go into this, if you decide you want this, you'll probably stick with this for a long time. And that's one of the things, especially with the work situation, they don't like the idea of having to look for somebody else in a couple months or even a couple years. They want somebody who's there for the long haul, that they can depend on and get to know and be a great part of the team. If it's romance, this person hates dating, is what I'm also getting. So it's kind of like they're just trying to figure it out. They're just trying to find the right person, and they feel like you might be that one. And they're starting to realize that the way you're going about it, there's a good chance if this fits that it'll make the distance. This is also there. So you got both of these coming in. The King and Queen of Cups here. It's coming in. Which don't get caught up in the genders. It's just telling me that like this is going to match. It needs time to show the true potential here. There's a lot that can come together with this. Does this mean that, you know, perfect match? I don't really believe in perfect match, just to be fair with you. People have edges. Like, I'm not one to believe in perfect match. I just don't. But more compatibility than not. And hopefully not many toxic behaviors. And when toxic behaviors are identified, willing to work through them to move past them. I feel like most people know this, but like toxic behaviors, they just pop up every now and then. It's identifying them and being willing to work past them. That makes the big difference here. Especially if it's a work situation. I mean, granted, for a personal one too, but like sometimes we get stuck in business situations and people use their position in abusive ways to validate their negative behavior. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Take that with a grain of salt. It's general reading, you know. What is your ending? We've gone on a while with this one. Working through things, like, is this perfect? I don't believe in perfect. But it's not about perfect. It's about something real that can be created, that can be a beautiful thing. And this can be a great thing. I don't believe in the perfect ending. I just think that's completely fantasy on this planet. I really do. But this has potential to not only address problems when they show up, but to work through them and work past them. So be it work or personal or whatever it may be for you, I don't see this being like the perfect, like, oh, we get along in everything, we agree on everything. They finished my sentence before I even started because they already knew where I was going with it. I'm not feeling that. But I'm more thinking like every now and then there's a issue, and once in a while it needs to be talked out, and there's an honest, like, well, this is what I thought. What did you think? Well, this is what I thought. It kind of contrasts what you were thinking. An honest effort to actually work through and correct problems, which you don't always get in life. I'm sorry, but you don't. That I feel like this is going to a realistic place where things can flourish and build and be something beautiful. Definitely effort's going to be put in here to make it happen, but it's effort that's going to build to something real. Is it good? I think we're there. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.